Welcome everybody to our December webinar where we want to have you give yourself the gift of learning. Just a couple of housekeeping items. We want you to like us, share us on whatever platform you're watching us on today, or even later on when you have a chance to watch it, so that we can make sure that we're reaching other facility managers such as yourself. Joining me today is Kim Coffey, and we are going to talk about goals, IFMA learning, and really let's make that magic happen in 2023. And then also, I'm so sorry, behind the scenes, I did forget to mention, we have Daniela, Tino, and Brianna joining us to help us with our webinar today.
Yeah, we're so glad to have their support. And that means that they're also going to be letting us know that any questions that you may be sharing, like Gail said, please post and let us know where you're joining in from. I am in IFMA's headquarters here in Houston, Texas. Gail?
I'm actually down in Manville today. So
there you
not
go.
in the office, but still here to support.
Exactly. As we approach our topic, it's always good for us to remind you IFMA's vision and mission. So IFMA is an association that's dedicated to advancing the facility management profession. And why do we do that? Well, our vision is to lead the future of the built environment to make the world a better place. Now, that sounds maybe cliche, but it's not. If you look at the majority of the buildings, they are, well, actually, the majority of what's happening in our world, we all live in buildings. We have facilities that will facilitate what our missions are, and our FMs are the ones taking care of that. So speaking of missions, we also advance our collective knowledge, value, and growth for FM professionals so that you can perform at your highest level. We've been around for more than 40 years. That number has actually grown. We're over 23,000 members, and we're in more than 100 countries. So if you're joining us today live or in the future, we welcome you.
Yes. So we actually took a poll recently to see what are some of your goals for 2023. And it was pretty overwhelming, some of the responses that we received. Earning their FMP, getting an internationally recognized certification, or just becoming more proficient in facility management. That's pretty cool. If you're looking to get promoted, if you're looking to solidify your position, we're here to talk about these goals with you today to help you achieve that goal for 2023. And we're going to start by
investing in yourself. Yeah. So as you look at your goals, a few things that you should ask yourself. Do you need to upskill? Are you lacking maybe a particular skill set that you would be able to be considered for a promotion? Are you wanting to gain expertise for competitive advantage? Is this something that you're looking at? Are you looking to change jobs? Are you looking again at that promotion? Do you want to be considered for that promotion? What's going to set you apart from your peers and your colleagues? The other thing is, do you need to build confidence in your abilities? Sometimes if we think that we don't know what we don't know, it can be overwhelming. So just think about, what do you know? And we actually have a tool for that will help. Do you need to just fill in some gaps in your knowledge? We all have a lot that we learn on the job, but sometimes that job that we've had or our work history doesn't quite give us everything that we need to be successful. Or are you looking to become the go-to authority? Do you look around and think, there's nobody else that I could go to get help on this? Are people coming in asking you questions? So if you want to strengthen your knowledge, then take a look at 2023 and make some strategic goals that are going to meet. If any one of these resonated with you, then consider training. Next slide, please.
And if you're not sure where to start, we do offer a quick survey that helps you factor in your experience and your education, and it lets us know on this end where we can help guide you. So you can find the Career Compass on any of our credential pages, scroll towards the bottom, click the link. You can also click this bit.ly and it will take you right to that Career Compass. And then, like I said, somebody from our team will be reaching out to you directly to help figure out what your goals are and where you should start.
So
Yeah.
that's our quick way.
Yes.
But if you really want to dive down, remember some of those things that we were saying to consider about how much you want to invest in yourself and what your needs may be. Strategy really does make all the difference. IFMA has a self-assessment tool that will enable you to do that self-assessment. There's more than 300 questions. It covers all of the 11 competencies that IFMA has identified as being a part of your job, your day-to-day job, and that's important for you. We have a special on that. And then, Gail, if you wouldn't mind going ahead and finishing that, please.
Oh, so sorry. I lost my train of thought. So, yes, whenever you are looking at your self assessment, if you don't know where to start, you'll go through, you can answer questions about the 11 competencies and be honest with yourself. If you don't know, put none. That way, you have an idea of where you need to fill those gaps. If you have a basic or limited experience, put a 2, because this is only going to help yourself understand where you need to start and where you need to pick up. When you answer all of these questions, you can always go back in and update them as you fill in gaps of knowledge. And then the answers will always be there as long as this email address that you sign up with is still accurate. And then you can go in, update, make changes. That way you're evergreen with your learning.
Exactly. And you always have your finger on the pulse of what is it that you need to focus on next. You can put things in priority and determine what are your goals and what training will fit with those goals. As Gail mentioned, you can come in and update this at any time. So some of that on the job training is also the type of training that you'll be getting. So it's not only training that you might get through formal curriculum, but also on the job training. If you have anybody that can be a mentor or a coach, that would also enable you to grow your strength, but still have an idea of where you are in your journey. It is a lifelong learning journey.
Yes. And for those of you who maybe don't have the time right now immediately to start and earn a credential, as Kim mentioned earlier, we do have these other 7 competencies that can help fill any gaps of knowledge. So maybe you don't deal with real estate every day and you're looking to just kind of jump into that with both feet to get your feet wet on what that could entail. We do have a competency available for that. Let's see, what else would be a good tidbit about the 11 competencies? It's so funny. It always makes me go back to when we first started doing our webinars, and we would always say, it's not Kim and I in the basement talking about, what would be a good topic, right? So we do have our subject matter experts who are global, who come together. They meet pretty frequently to determine what has changed in facility management, what needs to be updated, or maybe even included.
Yeah, in fact, we've got a competency review going on right now. A previous term was global job task analysis. Things continue to evolve, and with the FM profession, I mean, more and more is being put on our facility professionals, and we keep up to date with it. But the important thing here is with these 11 core competencies, each one of these having a standalone course, you can upskill, you can fill in gaps, you can choose where it is that your training needs to be. Our message to you today is make yourself the priority. Determine where you need to go in 2023 to meet the goals that you're setting for yourselves. And if we go to the next slide, then we see that as Gail and I were talking about your goals, one of your goals may be to achieve a professional credential. This one focuses on the facility management professional, or FMP. It is globally recognized. It covers the 4 foundational areas: finance and business, operations and maintenance. How many of you do operations and maintenance on a daily basis? Leadership and strategy. This isn't leadership and strategy and, soft skills. I want to be a better leader. That can be a part of it. But for FM, you have to work with a variety of different departments, and HR and IT are usually the 2 big ones. So you want to be able to have the leadership and strategy to get things done that need to be done within your facility, and to be able to schedule and get buy-in from people who are occupying your facility, just to make sure that everybody's on one page. And then project management is also another one. Project management from a facility's perspective. Same thing with finance and business. If you can't run a P&L and manage it, there could be some issues down the road. So there's a lot of great information in this. And it is a lifelong credential. Once you earn your SFP, you're an SFP forever.
Yes. And speaking of SFP, I know in the past
SFP, didn't I?
You
I was
did.
thinking
But the
SFP.
FFP also.
Yes, for both. Yes.
Yes. So with the SFP, I know we used to always talk about the triple bottom line, and that has actually evolved into more ESG, carbon neutrality, net zero. It pledges to be there by a certain year, depending on where you live. The SFP will help you get there. It also is a great way to have strategy meet application. So earning your SFP, no matter how old your building is, if it's 5 years old, if it's 55 years old, earning your SFP is going to help you determine what strategies you need to be looking at to help maintain and operate that building at its most efficient level. In the SFP, it's going to cover a ton of information about, I guess, all things sustainable. We do have a sustainability standalone course that's offered as part of the 11 competencies. That provides a really great overview where the SFP is going to really just delve into a lot more detail about sustainable practices and, like I said, managing and operating a building sustainably.
Right. So the SFP is where strategy meets application. And it's a lot of great information. So please be sure to take a look at this. We encourage all facility professionals to have this in your goal. It is best for those who have some experience. There's not a specific requirement. We don't check your eligibility, but you've got to have a good grasp on those foundations that are covered in the FMP before you come in here, because it assumes you know how to operate and maintain a building. You understand finance and business. You're able to run projects. So that is very important before coming into the SFP. But if you are an experienced FM and maybe you're not quite ready for the CFM, this is a great place to start. But speaking of that CFM,
yes.
Here we go, certified facility manager. So this truly is a mark of an established facility professional. This establishes your knowledge and gives you credibility in all 11 competencies. You would need to recertify. So the FMP and the SFP are both certificate programs. So you're learning as you read. We ask you questions based on what you've read, and then passing those assessments will earn you the FMP and the SFP. When you come to the CFM, it is about your knowledge and experience. There's no specific training required. If you meet the eligibility requirements, you can sit for your CFM. It is just like any other certification. If you're a CPA, if you're in one of the healthcare professions, to become certified, you've got to demonstrate that application of knowledge. And that's what this is. It truly is the quintessential goal for all FMs is to achieve your CFM. It does establish that credibility.
And I was going to just reiterate, there is no training that is required, but we do have resources available to help you get that confidence to sit for the exam. And you don't have to be an IFMA member to take any of our training. It does offer a little bit of a break to your pocketbook, but it is not required. So if you're ready to jump in, you meet those eligibility requirements, CFM all day long. And
Exactly.
we are ready to celebrate that, you earning that with you.
Right on. So what is the ROI? There you go, Gail. Tell us about that.
It leads us right into your return on investment. When you do invest in yourself, there are so many things. A couple of high points are 40% of credential holders receive a promotion after achieving their credential. That is not guaranteed, but most of the time you will, because you're showing that you not only have your organization's best interest at heart, but you take yourself very you want to be that professional, you want to be that go-to person. And whenever you have a credential, that just puts you in that limelight to be that person. So a promotion could very well be in your future. If that was one of the goals that you set, get some training, get some education.
That's right. If you want to be considered for that, or maybe put yourself in a position to where you would be able to increase your earning potential, that's something else that this research, which by the way was just completed September of 2022, so just a couple of months ago, it's current information. This was conducted by a third party organization. This is not, again, to use Gail's analogy, it's not she and I calling people and saying, "Oh, hey, how did it go?" This is conducted with all of the appropriate methodology. And if you would like to receive a copy of this, if you want to review it, or maybe provide this to some decision makers in your organization, please send us that request at corporateconnections@ifma.org. We'd be happy to get you a copy of this research report.
Yes, we would. And then lastly, we want to just have you take advantage of special savings. Pop in that code, you're learning 50. That'll take $50 off of your Essentials of Facility Management or any one of the individual core competency courses. If you use Your Learning 100, it'll take $100 off the FMP bundle, the SFP program, or the bundle of core competencies. And this will be valid today through the end of the month. And again, you don't have to be an IFMA member to take advantage of these discounts.
Exactly. So our team is watching to see if we get any questions. I know that we didn't go in depth on a lot of these, but that wasn't our purpose today. Today, we just want to get in front of you before you take some well-earned time off. Hopefully, all of you will be able to disconnect for a little bit and spend some time with your family or just relaxing. But we did want to encourage you to think about your strategy for your personal and professional growth in 2023, provide you with a couple of promotional codes that you can use if you're ready to move forward on your journey of training with IFMA. And I'm not seeing too many questions. Gail, if there is one piece of advice that you could give someone as they're looking at what to do for 2023, what would that be?
If you have any questions, take that survey at the Career Compass. Even if you don't come through IFMA and take our training, at least that'll give you an idea of really and truly setting that goal, figuring out the timeline. I mean, what have you done for yourself in the last 12 months? 2023, make it about you. Take advantage of it. I know, as Kim said, take some time off. I know facility managers, majority of them do not understand what that concept is. So take the time to really sit down, look at what your goals are, do the Career Compass. Let us just kind of help you, even if it's just talking you through it, right? What are your goals? Okay, you want to get promoted? Cool. What do? Let's start there. And I think really just investing in yourself to help put yourself in that forefront, because again, a lot of you really don't do that now. Take 2023 and make that magic happen. Do it for you, right?
I love that. Make that magic happen. So we have a question from Carlos, who says that he has a small amount of FM experience. He's a recent FM grad. Where should you start? So I would say if you've got FM experience, you have knowledge from being in some courses as a facility management graduate, I would really start with the FMP. You have a degree, you've got some experience, and the experience is that important part. You've got to be able to, be familiar with at least being in a facility. A professional credential is going to give you that deeper knowledge that will help kind of speed up that experience side. It's going to expose you to a lot of different things. So Carlos, I would say take a look at the FMP and see if that's something that you would be able to pursue in the new year. We have a question from Karen Nindy. My apologies, I'm sure I didn't get that right. What is the fee for a bundle of courses? Well, Mr. Krishnan, that depends on if you're a member of IFMA or not a member of IFMA, as well as the courses. But if you would go to our curriculum, to our course listing, that information is going to be right there. The bundle is going to be more financially advantageous. I mean, it does save money to have the bundle. For example, if the FMP is what you're interested in, having the bundle of all four is better than purchasing it one course at a time or one module at a time. But if budget's tight, then doing it one course at a time makes sense because it's not that full outlay. Daniela, can we pop another one? Can we add in the URL code for the FM .training website? I think we have it. If you could take a look for that.
There we go.
FM.training. There you go. It was already there. But please visit that. And then for anybody, if you have any specific questions, we are here to help. Brianna oftentimes will answer those questions. If you go to the Career Compass, that's a great way too. If you indicate that you would like to talk with one of us, you will be contacted typically within 24 hours. 1 to 2 business days, we'll be in touch with you. And we can have a deeper conversation to talk about what your unique situation is and how we can help you kind of determine what your next step might be. So Sajid has a question about IFMA membership. You will have a member ID number that you can use. Our individual members can also have the IFMA logo if you want to add that to your signature line as an individual. Companies cannot do that, but individuals can. So yes, if you join as a member of IFMA, it's not a printed card, but you will be able to have an ID number that you can share if you want. You'll also be in the membership directory. So there's a lot more benefits of being a member. But I appreciate the question.
I did want to mention,
we have another question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Mohammed is FMP certified. How to go for the CFM? Any advice? Gail, you want to take that one?
Absolutely. I would definitely start with the self-assessment tool, get logged into that, and figure out if you have any areas of the 11, which 4 you've already got. So if there's any of the 7 remaining that you may need to fill any gaps of knowledge, and you may not. As Kim alluded earlier, if you have that experience and you meet the eligibility requirements, you might be ready to just jump on in and sit for the exam. If you're not, we do have several different resources available, whether it's learning how to approach the questions or if it's just the content. We can cover both of those with the resources.
Yeah, I think the first step, though, Mohammed, is to take a look at the CFM handbook, because that's going to orient you to the exam, what to expect. There's a lot of information in there. Also, if you would reach out to corporate connections at ifma.org, we can send you the link to that. And as an FMP, you have a special bundle price for the other 7 courses, if that's something that you're interested in. Again, you don't have to have additional training for the CFM. A lot of it is practical knowledge, but we're happy to help you prepare for that. We appreciate you reaching out with that question. Let me just see if there's anybody else. We do have a message, additional information from Carlos. Carlos, I'd love for us to talk with you individually, Carlos Rodriguez. So if you would, please message corporate connections at ifma.org, and we will be glad to, Daniela, if you could change that to corporate connections email address. That will allow us to have a more meaningful conversation where we can ask you some questions and based on your answers, be able to make sure that you have the right material in front of you. Oh, this is a really important question. Thank you, Abdullah. How many times can I take the retake the test if I don't pass. If this is about the FMP or the SFP, there are those final assessments. You can take those final assessments 3 times, and then you'll be locked out for 30 days to give you a chance to go back over the material before you can take them again. There's no additional fees because those final assessments are part of the curriculum. If you're asking about the CFM, you have one free retake. It is at a Prometric test center, or you can do that at a remote through
proctoring.
Yeah, it's a proctored exam through the service, the Prometric Testing Center. They do have a remote option. So you can take it the first time, and then you will have a second retake. And everybody, I believe that we are about at time. Thank you so much for everybody who joined us and that had questions. If you have additional questions, please email us. The entire team is here. We've got a great training support team. We want to help you be successful in FM because at the heart of it, IFMA really is about advancing the profession. And if we can help you with training, but also we had the question about membership, getting involved, networking, meeting your peers, getting best practices, that's going to help advance the profession. So we appreciate you being here. Everybody, have a great holiday season and Happy New Year.
Yes, thank you.